Hi, my name is Casper. Today I want to discuss different types of e-commerce platforms that you can choose for your business. Each one has its pros and cons, and I will explain in detail what you can expect out of every type. Let's talk about e-commerce. Before we start, it is super important to tell you that I will be painting with a broad brush in this video. Within every type of platform, there are many different actual platforms. Each of them works a little differently. The general idea I have behind this video is to show you where to start looking. Let me know in the comments if I've missed anything you believe is important. Let's start with type 1, software as a service. This is the type of platform where you typically pay a monthly fee for both the software and the hosting of the site. This means that you can quickly and easily get a place to sell your products and not worry about the technical details. If you want to look at software as a service platforms, check Shopify, BigCommerce, Squarespace or Wix. For this kind of platform, you typically pay between $20 and $200 per month, depending on the amount of products or features or traffic that you have. Typically, at the beginning it costs less, then it starts becoming more expensive as you go along. Now, is it expensive? Not really. Included in this price is the hosting fees, and these can be much higher in other types of platforms. So software as a service is typically your cheapest option. If I personally would be starting out my e-commerce business and would like to build a fairly typical store, I would go with this SaaS solution. Having that said, of course, they have their downsides. First, they are usually limited to the amount of customizations that you can have. If you want to add a module, it is fine, but if you want to drastically alter the ordering process to fit your business needs, not really. You also don't have full control over your store. If, for example, it doesn't work as fast as you would like, you could have no option to improve it. On the positive side, you also get automatic updates. Again, on the negative, you often don't control when and what is being changed. I can imagine situations where a feature in your store doesn't work for a few hours because of an automatic update. To sum up software as a service solutions. On the plus side, they are rather cheap, they are fast to implement, and they have a good amount of features included. Also, it's worth mentioning that they have hosting included in the cost. On the negative side, customizations are limited, the optimization of the performance can be limited, and they are mostly for standard stores where you don't need very unique business processes. The second type of e-commerce platforms is open source. This category includes, for example, Magento open source, Shopware, PrestaShop, or WooCommerce. The platform itself is free. You don't pay a single cent for it. But then, of course, you have to pay somebody to set it up and maintain it. So you contact an agency and they do the work for you, for a price, of course. Now, this price can honestly be anything. I've seen stores built for less than $1,000 and stores which cost $200,000. This is actually the beauty of open source solutions. They are highly customizable. You can take what you get or change everything from the way the store looks to the way you handle payments. You can add subscriptions, you can add voice commerce or in-depth integrations with your ERP system. They also often get free of charge updates, which you only need to install. But here also lies the issue with the open source platforms. Everybody can see their code, so when the platform has a vulnerability, quickly everybody knows how to exploit it. Therefore, it is super important to keep them up to date, and in most cases, this will not happen automatically. The fact that the main code is available for everybody actually has a great advantage to it. There are more people who know the system, and therefore more people can work on your website. This is a very big advantage because when you have an agency that you are not satisfied with, you can easily change them in a matter of days. The agencies will also have different rates, they will have different skills, so you can pick and choose and select the best one for you. To sum up this section, open source platforms are customizable, they can be cheap, and you don't have to pay for the platform. You do need to pay for hosting. Vulnerabilities are quickly known to the hacking community, and you do need a freelancer or an agency to work with you on setting it up and modifying the store. We have two more types to discuss, licensed and custom. Let's start with the first one. Licensed platforms are typically built for larger stores. They require a license to use, and it often costs quite a lot. I'm talking about a yearly cost from $20,000 to even millions of dollars. With that price tag, you of course get quite a tool. They often come with multiple enterprise class features, such as specialized marketing tools with personalization features or ERP integrations. Examples of these platforms would be SAP Hybris, Magento Commerce, and Salesforce. What you can expect from these platforms is the ability to handle large traffic easily and of course support from platform owners. It is also worth mentioning that the license is typically paid every year or every couple of years. The pros include customizability and scalability. The cons, a hefty price tag, and the implementation cost is also usually quite expensive. Finally, this leaves us with custom implementations. This is the broadest category, as almost any developer can create their own solution. Some companies have even created their own proprietary solutions which they try to brand and sell as their own. Now, there are several situations where using such a solution can be a good idea. For example, if you only need a very simple system, using a custom platform can be cheaper in the long run, and it also may be better optimized for your business. Ready-made solutions have a ton of code that you don't end up using, and because of that it can be more expensive to develop, and the store can also perform worse than a custom one. This issue is often referred to as technical debt or code debt. Another reason you might want to use a custom platform is that the store you envisioned is different. It has a different ordering process or some very specific features. Apart from these situations, I would actually recommend avoiding custom solutions. In my opinion, they have a lot of disadvantages. For example, they can be quite expensive to build and maintain, but most of all, they are pretty much bound to one agency. If you come to a disagreement with them, or for whatever reason want to switch providers, you can't, or at least you can't do it easily. There is also one double-sided argument about custom platforms that you should be aware of. It's security. On one side, they are custom and the code is unknown to the public. On the other side, you only have a small company working on your code, which means that when a vulnerability is found, it can take a lot of time before somebody actually knows about it and fixes it. In most cases, especially when you're starting out, I would avoid custom solutions unless your business processes are very specific. So that's it. 4 types of platforms, each for a different need. Each with a set of pros and cons, and each with multiple options to choose from. Please let me know in the comments what platform are you using or planning to use and why. That's all for today. Have an amazing day.